At face value, a snowboarding slash surfing game slash platformer seemed like something that I would have never touched in my life. Considering that I never really was a fan of games like Journey or Abzû, just for solely playing them in general. I appreciate the aesthetics, and I think that it's really cool looking art. I would have never saw myself coming to play a game that combines stuff that I genuinely don't normally touch, and was left with a very different experience from what I thought this game was going to be. Essentially, what you are getting with Sword of the Sea is what I described. You are, I guess, snowboarding slash surfing on your sword. There are times where you will ride other animals, and through various different kinds of environments, beautiful, outstandingly beautiful environments, if I may add. There's something really cool about the overall like flipping, like having like fish go in the sky, and the turning like the desert into the water, and then having these like having water above the ground and stuff. There's just a lot of stuff to appreciate with the art design in this game that I genuinely could only compare to like going to an art gallery. And really, that's what I've felt like. I had a feeling that when I was going to play this game, that's what I was going to get, and that I'm not disappointed that that is what I got. It's essentially just going to an art gallery, but there is a level of storytelling that if you genuinely care, I didn't care about the storytelling. I didn't care about the lore at all. Some people like to look into that stuff in depth. For me, I just thought that this game was going to be amazing experience. Just the gameplay was, it was fun, it was enjoyable. But realistically, I was just there to see the different kinds of environments, and I thought that the overall presentation, even when it just came to cutscenes in general and the final boss fight, I thought that all of that was perfect. But when I do decide to come back to this game, it's not going to be for the story. It is not going to be for the lore. It is going to be to experience these environments again. And genuinely speaking, I think that it is perfectly acceptable to have a game like this for free on PlayStation Plus. When it comes to indie games, I know it's a hit or miss with a lot of them, and there's honestly memes where as soon as PlayStation releases a trailer for an indie game, and be like, oh well, it's gonna be free on PlayStation Plus, and there's a whole bunch of arguments whether you get what you pay for when it comes to PlayStation Plus. Often you don't get what you pay for. But I also will say that the price they are asking for Canadian for this game right now, I also wouldn't pay for, because I just don't, to pay that much for a 2 hour experience. And yes, well, you will replay it and you will enjoy it. I just feel like at face value, what you're getting is just personally not, it's not enough. Now, I don't really have anything negative to say about this game, except for one specific moment. And I will admit that when it comes to platform games, I tend to get stuck on some of the easiest puzzles, and honestly, there's times that I genuinely, it blows my mind on how I can't find certain things. There was one specific instance in this game that, for the most part, I pretty much knew where to go and everything seemed pretty easy. But I guess I got to I would consider it to be the most challenging part, but challenging kind of just seems like an extreme word for something that's a little bit minuscule, but it wasn't too bad. There's this one specific moment when you get into a blizzard, and there are these statues that are in the ground, and it's really bad. And there's, I guess, there's a the area that you are allowed to be in is like condensed to a very specific path. However, all around that is still a large out of bounds, so it's very easy to just go out of bounds. And this was a part where I genuinely was getting a little bit annoyed, and not normally I don't normally, ever see myself getting stuck in something specifically like this. And I've thought about it in terms of like, is this a skill issue or is this by game design? And I don't really want to discredit them because what they did, like that whole atmosphere in general, was very well done. However, it was difficult to find where I was supposed to go. And that was the only one time I actually had to pull up a YouTube video and see where the hell I'm supposed to go. Because regarding the statues, I know three of the statues had different positions, and one of them had the lore thing that you could read. But the main issue was that the way it was structured, it was very easy to go out of bounds. It was very difficult to find the path I was supposed to go until I actually looked up a guide. And by no means is that a bad thing at all. I honestly had a lot of fun with this game. And the genuine presentation that it portrays can't really be summed up in one review. It's really just a game that if you see the gameplay, you see the art direction, it will seem interesting to you. And if it doesn't seem interesting to you, I will give you a tip. My personal experience with this game is different from others because I didn't listen to the base soundtrack. For the most part, I just put on my video game playlist, and I honestly encourage people that aren't normally interested in games like this, throw on your favorite video game soundtrack, preferably something from like Sega or Bandai Namco, and play this game, and you will be absolutely like it's kind of like a perfect experience. It's almost like experiencing a dream that you are very invested in. When I got to like whenever I was like grinding on like the chains, for example, and I was listening to something from like Sonic, like that is just a perfect combination. And even when we did, whenever I got to the boss fight, and it was playing something from Bayonetta, everything just worked so perfectly. And even if you kind of you can almost like look at this game as like a template for something that's just like, it's a good way to just shut your brain off and relax for that 2 hours. But throw in your favorite music from other games and kind of just build your own experience upon that. I think you will absolutely love this experience. I can't necessarily sell you on this game because what I told you is what I believe. I don't have there's nothing to really say to convince you that what you're getting is a 10 out of 10 experience. I do think it's a great experience, and I feel like it's kind of injustice to say that this game is perfect or almost close to perfect. You are getting what you pay for, but the real experience comes from what you make out of it. At least that's what I've taken away from this. And I don't know if that's necessarily a valid point to review. Obviously, the story is not what I came for with this game, but I enjoyed everything else. I enjoyed the art direction, I enjoyed the presentation, and the little story with the monster and the boss fight. It was cool, but what I came here for was the environments, and what I got was something that I was not disappointed in. I think that it's an amazing representation of what art can be, and I highly encourage you, if you had things that people recommended to you and you weren't normally sure about, or you kind of dismissed right away, if you can find a way to kind of make it your own experience, that you could still probably enjoy it. There's other way. Now people can say that, oh, you're enjoying the game the way it's not to be, or the way it wasn't intended, but I disagree. I think it's kind of like you look at this game and you can easily see some commentary channel play it while talking about something, and someone made something out of it. For me, it's playing this game, listening to amazing music created by the best composers from the video game soundtracks that I've listened to, or movies or animes, and being absolutely in entranced within this amazing world that an indie studio created. I highly recommend Sword of the Sea for that experience. And there's no other way there's nothing else I can really say. If you enjoy what you hear, if you see what you enjoy, if you enjoy what you see, then I guess get it. That's pretty much all I can say. Another review's coming soon. Peace.